Good morning, friends. Welcome back. Today is the 8th of June, 2022. It's Wednesday, and we are getting ready for tomorrow's expiry. So, how is the market doing today? So, let's look at SGX. Though many people ignore SGX as useless index, I feel SGX gives a number of pointers for us to go into the market every day at 9 a.m. Basically, the overnight market, which is SGX trading in New York and Singapore, give us a number of inputs for our regular trading hours. So I keep looking at the levels even in SGX so that we have some information before we get into trading at 9:15 a.m. Let's look at the charts, what they are saying. First, we'll look at the daily charts and see how they are behaving up, and then we'll get into the intraday time frame. Let's take Nifty. What has happened yesterday? You see that yesterday, as I highlighted in yesterday's video, short-term players have done a lot of action around 8-day moving average and 20-day moving average. Basically, these are short-term moving averages, and players who are leveraged, like retail players or high net worth individuals, they fight a lot when the moving average is crossed below at 8 days or 20 days, basically for a weekly expiry or a monthly expiry. So these people are struggling here because they are not finding any momentum on the upside. Also, the market is not going down as well. So yesterday we almost filled the gap, though I would consider the gap as filled when it hits the close, which is like 16,327. Yesterday we just hit the high of 27th May and then returned to close a bit higher at 430 zone. So basically, yesterday we touched upon this gap zone, but the market could not find momentum either on the downside or on the upside. The reason being today's RBI event, which is very important. Though it is very clear that RBI will hike rates, the market has priced in such a hike, the market will still want to see any surprises given by the central bank governor so that it can move on either side. That's why you see that exactly it has kept at the middle of this particular large range that we are looking at. So on a broader scale, only if the market breaks 16,929 and 16,930, sorry, 16,760 and 16,930, I would be bullish on a daily time frame. Otherwise, you need to keep playing in this range. You cannot have expectations of 1,000 points this side and 1,000 points this side. That is not how you should trade intraday. In intraday, you should look at the zone that is very close to this area. You should not look at this zone and this zone for intraday. Unless you are a positional trader or a long-term trader, you should not go beyond the current range. The current range is between 8-day moving average and 50-day moving average. So we should focus on levels like this. So if someone comes to me and asks, where do you see Nifty at the end of the year? I don't know. I do not want to forecast. I just want to trade what the market is telling me in the nearest time frame. I am just worried about today. I am not worried about tomorrow. I do not want to forecast where the market will be tomorrow morning. I just want to know where the market will be today at 9:15 a.m. So let's analyze where Nifty will be. So yesterday, you see that it was a rangy day between almost 490 and 360, which is like 150 points. But a lot of energy was built into it. What I mean by energy is, if we go back to the volume profile of Nifty, you will understand that both buyers and sellers were equally strong here. So basically, the momentum was very light, though I see the momentum being built up on the long side for today. You see that a lot of two-way action happened. Buyers wanted to push it up and sellers wanted to push it down. Nothing happened. At the end of the day, we closed it slightly weaker at 420 levels. Now, what happens is today, SGX is indicating, if you see SGX, it is right trading at the low point of this balance range. In market profile, we call this particular area as a balance range. When I say balance range, here both buyers and sellers are equally struggling. You see that buyers are trying to take it up and sellers are trying to bring it down. And yesterday we are just clinging, hanging on to that balance because players wanted clarity from RBI today. And as a result, today you see that they are sticking to 510 until open. Most probably, I expect SGX to trade for the next 1 hour in this 500 to 520 range or 530 range. And once we break 503 and 533, then we can see pushing into this balance. So if RBI starts talking, what market can do is it can push into this balance range and it can go all the way up to 766 again, depending on the volatility and depending on what RBI governor says. If there is any fall, then we have to look up to areas which are on the downside. As of now, I see probability the path of least resistance for the market to go up rather than down because the slight gap is filled. But I will be ready for a move down below 325. If we are breaking 325, then the next level is going to be 244, which is a market profile level. So basically at 244, we should not break down. If we break down, then we can go all the way to 15900 levels, and 15770 will be the port of call for shorters if they have to take down that much. If there is any super bearish news in RBI, like RBI governor increasing it by 100 basis points or 150 basis points or whatever he feels, if there is a bearish stint, then we will go to such levels. But I think mostly US markets are also, as of now, indicating a bounce. So we may kind of find volatility around this range and close here. We should also be super bullish. If we break 766, then we have to look at ranges which are around 16900 and above levels, as we have seen in daily chart. So basically, on the upside, our aim is to break 760 and 929 levels if it is super bullish. Otherwise, we will just stick to this particular range between this blue line and yellow line, gold line. So that's what Nifty is saying. And I see that there is slightly momentum built in today. That is why we are seeing a gap up in SGX. So probably we need to break 530 in SGX or in regular trading hours for us to get into this range. So what are the levels that we should focus today on the upside? It should be 530 initially, and then we should go to 654, which is like around 645 levels, and then we have to hit 766. That is on the upside. On the downside, we should keep a watch on 325 and 244. Now, let's see what is happening in Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty too, the story is almost similar. We are trading between 20-day moving average and 200-day moving average. Basically, in Bank Nifty, the range is so tight, all the moving averages are tucked in. They are not far away. So you see that it is, trading around 50-day moving average, around 20-day moving average, around 8-day moving average, and below 200-day moving average. So here you see that long-term players have rejected it last time when we hit 200-day moving average. At the same time, short-term players are struggling to keep this. They do not want the market to go down. So in Bank Nifty, what are the levels that we should look at in intraday basis? Before going into what will happen today, let's see what has happened yesterday in Bank Nifty. Again, the same thing. We are trading below this 35,311 level. So yesterday has been a very tight range, and you see that both buyers and sellers have been fighting. So, but you see that at the end of the day, we have built momentum into Bank Nifty because of the RBI policy. So let's see what happens tomorrow. What are the levels to look for today? Initially, we should at least break 35,390 or 35,311. We should get into this range. We should forcibly get into this range. And once we are above 35,390, there is a confluence of order flow zone here between 35,500 and 35,700 or 800. So we have to push through this zone very fast. It will not be easy for longs to push through this zone. There will be a lot of resistance here, and once it is done, the market has to break this zone to look for any upside. This is another area where they will face a lot of resistance to come back. Depending on what RBI governor says, we have to stay in this zone before making any move further higher. On the downside, we should not break 35,080. This is the crucial, most important level for shorts to remember, because they have to break this to get into zone which is almost like we have 2000 points here. So from here to here, we can move all the way down if they can break below 35,080. But I see little downside. Unless we break this, we are not going to witness any action in this zone, at least for today. So keep in mind these levels for bulls, which is like 35,311, 35,390, and then the zone between 600 and 800. Let's see what is happening with Reliance. In Reliance, yesterday the day was spoiled by large player. As I have told you, we may break below 2750. We may break for all this zone, and we can even go to 2650 or 2581 levels. But now you see that yesterday they have ripped off these levels, and we have to be careful before going long or short. So basically, I will be long as long as it is about today's close or today's high, that is about 2800, and I will short only below 2750. Until then, do not go short in Reliance. It will start wearing you out. So we can get more shorts around 2850 levels. That's it for Reliance, guys. If you have any doubts, you can chat me on Telegram, and do consider subscribing my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Bye bye.